Exactly. Exactly.
All right, but no, let's talk about something fun.
Yep.
I mean, that wasn't fun. But no, I'm talking, of course, about new series on Amazon. Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
Question mark?
Da-da-da-da.
Yes.
Jean-Claude Van Johnson, the new series starring none other than Jean-Claude Van Damme.
None other, yeah. He's the man. And this is a show for JCVD fans. I think it was like...
Totally.
This is a show that I thought was like made directly for me.
Nice.
And I think like every fan that's like that hardcore into JCVD movies, like growing up, is probably thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
But I think anybody who wasn't...
They released this on Amazon that first day and then shown the atom symbol in the sky, letting you know.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it is, and I think a lot of people felt that way. But if you aren't a giant Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, you probably aren't really chasing this down and really appreciating it for its full thing, because
that would
it's
also
really
be a disservice, I think, because it's actually really damn funny.
It's really damn funny, but a lot of the humor and a lot of the content is just a lot of it's contingent on having seen all of his movies.
Don't take after. That's.
I got a good one waiting.
No, stop.
I know everyone's waiting for
the kibosh on this
You're
right
trapped
now.
between us. You can't go. You can't go anywhere.
I don't want.
No. We're there now. You want to get it out? Get it out of your system.
Yeah. Let's not split us apart. Let's get back on track.
All right.
Yeah, right. He's waiting for it. Give it like 5 more minutes.
That's good. I'll try to set you up as best I can. But this.
Herb. You got one too?
Yeah.
I'm not that clever.
All right, thank you. Herb's like, I wouldn't show him the cut, just biding his time.
All right, so this show is really dependent on having seen most of his movies.
Yeah,
but so a lot of the jokes are really hanging there.
Who among us have not
seen all these, even down to like the content of the show, because he plays two parts in this movie. He plays himself, Jean-Claude Van Damme, or Jean-Claude Van Johnson, and he plays this character called Philippe. Yeah. And if you know all of his movies, you've seen Maximum Risk, you've seen Double Impact, you've seen Replicant. He plays twins really well.
Yes, he
That's kind of a running theme for him, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of stuff with like time travel and going back and forth, which they're always referred to as time cops, even though they have nothing to do with the plot of that movie. But if you're in time travel,
that's good.
You're a time cop. In which time cop is, it's better than the movie Looper. That's all you have to know.
I only watched the TV series
of Looper?
Of Time Cop.
Of Time Cop?
There was a Time Cop TV series. It was awful.
There was a Time Tracks TV show. Was there a Time Cop as well?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Time Tracks was good.
No, Time Tracks is different. No, Time Tracks was like when you had a little boop boop watch thing.
Yeah, Time Tracks was weird stuff like, okay,
two separate things.
I need to get out of the ropes. His own version.
You mean proto Captain Jack Harkness?
His own version of Ziggy. Yeah, like Siri. Or like I need to get out of the ropes.
If you don't know,
how did Houdini did it?
So if you don't know Van Damme, though, you can't really sit and watch the show.
You can, but you lose half the fun.
It's not for you. It's a love letter to the true fan.
And it is exactly that. It really is a love letter to this.
I will say, though, if you're not a Van Damme fan, you will find some enjoyment in this.
You will. I mean, but most of this is
extra Easter egg stuff.
Most of this is very like tongue-in-cheek, very ironic type stuff. It's really a look at his career. And it's like you see this guy that's like an actor, and he's kind of like depressed with himself. He's kind of not really happy, so he goes back into work. By the way, the plot line of this movie, if anybody who needs to know, is this actor Jean-Claude Van Damme is his whole career is basically a cover for his Black Ops missions, where he is Jean-Claude Van Johnson. So every time he goes to a movie, he's going to a different Black Ops mission.
That location is in Bulgaria because that mission is in Bulgaria.
So he's doing movies, but at the same time, the real job is him to do these Black Ops mission for the government. And so, but this is...
And he's bad at them.
And he's bad at them, and he's bad at movies, he's bad at everything, but it's just played in such a really... like this, like I said, tongue-in-cheek, very ironic way where you kind of feel for him, like there's some truth to what he's doing, you know what I mean? This reflection on his career, and it's like he's an older guy trying to get back into it, not just get back into movies, but get back into
life.
Back into life and doing this whole thing, and it's really for hardcore fans, and there's just so many references to his old films, whether it's like the fight scenes, whether or not they're pointing out the corniness of his old movies, where they're like, wait, no, don't all rush him at once. every fighter go in one at a time because that's how the old movies are done. You know what I mean? So he's fighting guys like that.
I also appreciate how he's got his side. Well, he's got a couple of like people he works with. And they're constantly telling him, "No, don't do this. That's a bad idea.
Yes,
that's unrealistic.
Don't
and
fight
this is the
this
way
gang
to do
of people with just a knife." He's like, "Nah, I got this," and walks in and gets clubbed in the head and knocked unconscious or something like that.
It says a lot of the stuff that if you're watching an old Jean-Claude Van Damme movie now, and you're like, "This was amazing when I was 12, but now that would never happen."
Well,
why
just
don't they
like
do this? And people in the show are saying, "Well, that's not going to happen. No, why don't you just do this?" And he's like, "No, I got this."
Right. The genre's just shifted, and I think a lot of this show kind of you can stem it back to the movie JCVD, which is actually a really good movie starring him, and it was kind of the same way where it was a reflection on his career in a more dramatic role. The movie, of course. But it was like kind of looking back and looking where he is now and kind of this, really a reflective state of like kind of like the decisions he made and the mistakes he's made and like the bridges he's burned and everything like that. This takes a very comedic role in that, and obviously it twists it to like the whole like ridiculousness of being a secret agent, but it's still in the same way.
No reference to him in that corny ass suit from Predator.
True,
I'm waiting
is
waiting
like
for
the hardcore fans too, which know he was actually in the movie Predator.
He was the original Predator. Yeah,
he was in the suit in the original Predator, but
really?
He got axed way back
axed
in the day.
because it looked like damn it, did you ever see The Fifth Element?
Yeah,
you
it was like that, but like it was like alien,
yeah, with the heads.
Yes,
it kind of came out kind of like if
basically if he was it, he would probably ruin the movie.
If Jar Jar Binks had the gout. So it's like just.
Oh my god.
That's what he looked like in the suit.
I have a gout story to tell when we get to the Aresia section. Please don't let me forget.
I will never
Please
let
don't
you
let me forget
it,
that I have a real gout story to tell.
Well, now we have something to look forward to.
But regardless,
this kind of sounds like so he made a movie called JCVD.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It kind of sounds like it's the same role that he did in that.
It's kind of like I said. It's in the same vein as that, where it's a guy doing a version of himself. Yep. This one is played for like comedy. It's played like it's way more ridiculous. In the movie, it's kind of played serious, where he's looking at his life, he's looking at his relationships, and he's like definitely a closer version where you're like, wow, this is a guy now. And this is me looking back at what I used to be and like looking at the mistakes I made and looking at everything that happened. There's shades of that in this show. And it's not as like depressing because it's played for laughs, but like it's definitely still there. And this is a guy with a lot of regrets. This is a guy living a career that, you know what I mean, he's kind of looking back and like, why am I not the biggest star anymore? He starts out the show where he's like,
though, that at some point he was the shiz.
Well, he starts out the show the same thing. He's like, I'm JCVD. I used to be super famous. You know what I mean? He says it and you laugh, but at the same time, he's like, this is a guy kind of like mourning, his own career a little bit like that. So you look it through that lens. It's a little like, wow, this guy's really trying. You know what I mean? I'm really, for super diehard fans like I am, it's real. Like this show is made for you in a way that you really see. It's like a Rocky story. You know what I mean? You're really glad to see this guy getting his due. You know what I mean?
I would think Rocky would have a little more sense, even after getting punched in the head so many times.
But you're happy the guy's getting work. You're happy the guy's having success, and like you have this attachment
really
to him. You know what I mean? And like he's shown shades of being like really serious, dramatic actor, and really this self-awareness. You know what I mean? Like it shows something, and you're really happy for him, like getting the work, basically like that. So I think this show is really more that than actually just pure entertainment. Like. Let me watch it as a virgin fan, like doesn't know anything about him. You probably have to know something about him to really get the full.
I think so.
Scope of the show.
Mostly to get the references. They do make a lot of references to his pictures, but if you don't get them, I would think that when he makes the references himself and everyone around him, like that's one of the things about the show. He gets the references, you get the references, but people in the show don't. And a lot of the scenes he's interacting with like 20-year-olds, and he'll mention like
hey, did I used to do this? Like I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he'll mention Hard Target. Yeah. And the people just stand around like
but there's some really great scenes where he's making a movie, he's on like location, obviously he's doing this Black Ops thing, but the movie he's making was called Huck. It's like it's a very horrible Huck Finn adaptation where it's like involves like Huckleberry Finn, and then they call him N-word Jim, and then they changed it to giving it to an Asian actor. You know what I mean? It's just so ridiculous, and it's over the top, and it's absolutely hilarious.
It's a show with a lot of meta humor. It takes
very,
chances.
very heady.
It's aware of the ridiculousness, and it embraces that. And I think that's like the biggest strong suit. I got to give this a thumbs up.
I have
it was
to
just
too,
such
you know
a damn fun time.
Yeah, and it's not just as a fan. Of course, I was going to give it a thumbs up. You had to know that was.
I would love that. It's like,
however,
I enjoyed this, but it sucks.
But at the same time, yeah, it's really, really meta. It's really like, you know what I mean, in the know, like heady type stuff. So if like you're in the mood for that, you know what I mean, I think this is your thing. So this is, I really enjoyed it anyway. So.
Absolutely. Jean-Claude Van Johnson. It's available right now on Amazon.
Amazon Prime, yeah.
Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Video, it's free Prime.
6 episodes, I believe. Like
6 episodes, half hour each.
Half hour? Okay, yeah.
Knock it out in 3 hours and laugh your ass off.
Van Damme. Plus, he stacks his entire apartment with Pop-Tarts. That's all he eats. It's like he's going to get something to eat, and he opens a drawer, and it's just Pop-Tarts, and he's cooking him on a stick. I don't know.
What's up with the Pop-Tarts?
Stupid. It's just dumb humor. I don't know.
It's sponsored by Pop-Tarts. It's not sponsored. I would be surprised.
It's just like little things like that. It's a guy so bored with his wealth, and like after so many years of just being bored, that's all he eats. I don't know. It's just stuff like that.
To be fair,
like,
if I could afford just like a wall of Pop-Tarts. And that's not a wealth thing. That's just like pure happiness for me.
Pop-Tarts
he's
are
walking
awful.
through
Strawberry Pop-Tarts with the frosting.
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts are terrible.
What?
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts are so bad.
How
Oh yeah.
dare
Pop-Tarts
They
are
are
frosted
They ain't no
cardboard.
toaster strudel.
It's
You are
frosted
absolutely-
cardboard, guys.
you are dismissed.
That pastry is supposed to be
Pop-Tarts.
buttery.
Yeah,
and that
But he's
Frosted-
walking.
like
He's
chalky.
walking through an apartment eating
Frosted
those
cardboard.
with like posters of himself from all his movies.
Oh,
Man,
man.
as
It's
somebody who
That's the
discovered
dream.
As
It
somebody
is.
who
It is.
discovered a gluten allergy years ago, you have no idea how much you fiend for Pop-Tarts when it's completely off the menu.
Pour one out
They
and
already
taste.
taste gluten-free.
I miss
so
the-
just
I miss-
eat
I
some.
miss a strawberry Pop-Tart with the plain frosting and then some orange
some
juice.
sparkles on them. Yeah,
The sparkles were good. Some orange juice.
This is a level of
just
hell.
sugar
I'm
breakfast.
describing.
Yeah, you don't need to be there.
Delicious.
Oh man.
dare you
How
both.
many splits are in this series?
There's quite a few, and they do
There
a
are.
really great riff on that because obviously he's known, if anything, for his splits now. That's
And
like he's the
between
split guy.
Trucks,
But he does one at the beginning, and it shows him like these guys are rushing him, like these bad guys, the anonymous henchmen he's supposed to fight one-on-one. And they're coming at him. He's like, okay. Goes to do a split, and like halfway there, and all of a sudden he gets clubbed upside the head. You know, you age a little bit, and that's the joke. But yeah, there's definitely split jokes. There's definitely like jokes to all of his movies and some of the plot lines and how
Nice.
so many holes in them. But that's part of the fun, and I really enjoyed this.
Yeah,
yep,
sounds fun.
Jean-Claude Van Johnson. Check it out. All right, gonna take it over to Mix Macabre
Yo, what
because
up?
you have the inside
Yeah,
stuff
I
on
went to
Aresia.
Aresia. Aresia is the New England area's largest sci-fi and fantasy